To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. Men always want to be a woman's first love, women like to be a man's last romance. The one charm of the past is that it is in the past. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. It takes great deal of courage to see the world in all its tainted glory, and still to love it. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. Truth, indeed, is a thing that is most painful to listen to and most painful to utter. There are only two tragedies in life, one is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. The only thing to do with good advice is pass it on. It is never any use to oneself. Live life with no excuses and travel with no regret. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does, and that is his. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything, and the value of nothing. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live, it is asking others to live as one wishes to live. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes, or for their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden where the flowers are dead. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast. The world is divided into two classes, those who believe the incredible, and those who do the improbable. A man's face is his autobiography. A woman's face is her work of fiction. True friends stab you in the front. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. A gentleman is one who never hurts anyone's feelings unintentionally. They've promised that dreams can come true, but forgot to mention that nightmares are dreams, too. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Success is a science. If you have the conditions, you get the result. When I was young I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old I know that it is. The world is a stage, but the play is badly cast. The terror of society, which is the basis of morals, the terror of God, which is the secret of religion, these are the two things that govern us. Ordinary riches can be stolen, real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken from you. No man is rich enough to buy back his past. To get back one's youth, one has merely to repeat one's follies. Experience is merely the name men gave to their mistakes. Anybody can sympathize with the sufferings of a friend, but it requires a very fine nature to sympathize with a friend's success. Whenever a man does a thoroughly stupid thing, it is always from the noblest motives. Each man lived his own life and paid his own price for living it. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their good intellects. We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is far the best ending for one. Live the wonderful life that is in you. Let nothing be lost upon you. Be always searching for new sensations. Be afraid of nothing. Children begin by loving their parents. As they grow older they judge them, sometimes they forgive them. Anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Men marry because they are tired, women, because they are curious, both are disappointed. Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. This is a fault. Art is the only serious thing in the world. And the artist is the only person who is never serious. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. The one charm about marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties. Everything in the world is about sex except sex. Sex is about power. One should always be in love. That is the reason one should never marry. Romance should never begin with sentiment. It should begin with science and end with a settlement. Society often forgives the criminal, it never forgives the dreamer. Between men and women there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. There is a luxury in self-reproach. When we blame ourselves we feel no one else has a right to blame us. Crying is for plain women, pretty women go shopping.